A good Wednesday afternoon. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards forecaster. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, 802 Honda. They are all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. And we're looking at the 500 millibar weather pattern at about halfway of the troposphere, 18,000 feet or so. And you can see a big moisture plume that stretches really from around Ecuador, north of Ecuador, the tropical Pacific, west of South America, west of Central America. And this works its way across southern Mexico through the Gulf of Mexico and then off the coast of North America. Main polar jet is the one that's active, bringing in much colder air here. We have a lot of moisture in training with a split in the flow here. As you can see, an area of low pressure over northeastern Texas. And this is going to be a major storm system that's going to be tracking toward us and bringing us another shot of snow. Taking a look at temperatures, you can see the cold temperatures associated with that polar jet that is split. And then we have warmer temperatures, of course, working its way north, causing overrunning and precipitation, isentropic lifting. And this is our area of low pressure that's going to be taking a track. Looking at the current weather again, and also what we're going to do is get rid of the 500 flow and looking at the surface flow. And you can see this is an area of low pressure that's departing. Fairly strong northwesterly winds are just about done. This area of higher pressure is going to be building into the region. This is our next issue. Looks like it's going to be taking a track and develop and intensify off the coast. Let's take a look at the 6-hourly increments of the European model. Okay, this is the European model, valid at about 7 o'clock this evening, Eastern Standard Time. You can see precipitation working in across the southeast United States. This is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, as high pressure will be over us and then depart. You can see that precipitation in the form of snow. Some of those darker colors are heavier snow, of course, and some mesoscale banding, as this area of low pressure works in with rain across southern New England. A little bit of a mixture just to the southeast of Vermont, and then that's going to be moving out into our east. We're going to be in the snow, and it looks like lighter snowfall. And then kind of some lake effect snow as kind of a double barrel area of low pressure across eastern Canada begins to pull away and lift out. That forces a lot of flow coming in off the Great Lakes. And over time, with these 6-hourly increments, you can see the conditions here. It's jumped to 120 hours, and you can see that there'll be a periodic shot of snow in the next coming days. This is our next one that's going to move through on Monday. It's a kind of a quick mover. That could be a little bit wetter and more problematical, potentially some mixed precipitations with that. And this is out about 7 days. Let's take a look at the pressure patterns. So same kind of deal here. This is looking at tonight at about 1 o'clock in the morning. On early Thursday morning, you can see a high pressure system over Vermont, and then our incoming weather system with the 6-hourly increments and so forth. Lighter precipitation on its tail end, and then some lake effect streamers work off the Great Lakes. Periodically a little burst there that's going to be moving in, looks like on Saturday night. And then another area of higher pressure, a rather cold one, will build in for better weather along about Sunday. And then beyond that, that next weather system for Monday. You'll see that here. This is Monday morning. And then that's skims on by and moves by fairly quickly. The GFS ensemble, you can see very light amounts, if no amounts of precipitation up through our next storm system that'll be moving in on Friday, Thursday night, Friday morning. The blue line is probably the most likely where things are going to end up right now. A little bit over 0.4 of an inch of precipitation, with the bulk of it falling, it looks like, into Friday afternoon. And then the system departs. And so right here you can see the 3-hour QPF centered on basically Friday morning about 12Z. That's about 7 o'clock in the morning. And pretty sharp incidence there. Again, it may come down moderately at times, so we're looking at somewhere between 4 to 8, 5 to 10, maybe some of our local mountain areas almost receiving a foot of snowfall potentially, depending on how fluffy it is. 7-day total QPF, you can see very dry in the west, and you can also see a storm track coming up the eastern seaboard, southeastern United States, and that's the 1-inch line. So less than 1 inch QPF over the next 7 days. This is a 1/4 inch. So below normal here, roughly a little bit above normal, roughly about 135% of normal per the European model across Vermont. Cold enough to snow? You betcha. In fact, a real cold night, as a matter of fact, tonight. And you can see the temperatures make a little bit of a rise. Let's take a look at the 850 millibar temperature. And you can see it's below the 0 line here, so it's falling as frozen. This will be at its closest point. So a little wetter condition as you get closer to that 0-degree isotherm. And again, that would be about 12Z, 7 o'clock on Friday morning. And this is the 5-day maximum temperatures, running about 6 degrees below normal for this time of year. But look at this, it even gets colder as we get a little bit later, about 3 days later. We're talking about somewhere between 12 and 15 degrees below normal for this time of year. It's currently roughly about that. Again, these are weighted. Note where all the cold air is. It's basically in North America. And if we look around the rest of the world here, keeping it with the temperature anomaly, you can see that pretty warm across Europe, a little bit of a colder air across parts of sort of western Eurasia there. Here's that little cold belt, but you see it's surrounded by a lot of warm temperatures. Pacific, and again, here's our cold spot. Southern hemisphere is averaging closer to normal, and again, this is pretty amazing that it's in this particular area here. So we're the coldest on the planet right now in terms of anomalous temperatures. And clearly you can see this here for the planet running about 0.4 of a degree above normal, 5/10 half degree for the northern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere is a little bit warmer as well. The Arctic, 0.7 of a degree Celsius above normal. Antarctic's a little cooler than normal, and the tropics warmer than normal. So you can see closer to the equator, a little bit warmer. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.